lot of people always ask me, hey, what's the perfect age to get married? There is no perfect age. You're never going to be ready. It's like having kids. You're never going to be ready. There's no perfect age, but there is a perfect person. And I think that's the key that everyone should be focused on, is finding that person that's going to be perfect for you in marriage. Frameworks, all of that, the information's out there. We'll share a couple of them, but that person is going to be your most important decision. I think, even talking to everyone, I mean, some people go through divorce, get remarried, but you got to find that person that's just going to be, everything for you. So that's how I would start it with.
I love it, man. And I think everything you just said is spot on. Again, drop the mic in the beginning, but the main thing that I think that I've learned over the years, and when we were younger, Ruslan, I know we were 4 years apart, but we're basically the same, in terms of the same age group, is no one really talked about this. I didn't get coached on, transparently, I didn't get coached on how to find my future wife. No one came in and gave me tips or tricks or ideas. So for the young men watching, we're going to talk to you first, and then we're going to go into guys like us who, you've been married 15 years. You just celebrated 15 years, right?
15 years, yes.
Freaking amazing. And then we're on year 12. In August, we'll be celebrating year 12. And again, we'll get into this, but it's been an awesome journey with our wives, but it's not always been perfect either, and we can share some of those stories too. And it's a partnership. But for the men out there that are listening that aren't married yet, I want to remove the word perfect a little bit, not to correct anything, but I think that sometimes puts a very limiting scenario on it, but because nothing's ever perfect. But I will say that who you choose to marry is the number one decision that you will ever make in your lifetime. And it's the number one person in your life that will have the greatest impact on your success. So for the men out there, again, you might be going, well, okay, I want love, Matt. Yes, you want to find someone you're in love with. You want to have, great sex. I get it. Okay, trust me. We all want that. And that's important. But note that pushing that aside, you're looking for a partner in life that if you do want to have kids, they're going to be a great mother, right? And you want to have a specific conversation before you get married. And we can give you a framework for that. At your church, if you go to your church, typically they're going to have a good questionnaire for you to sit down with. And when I was looking for my future wife, I did not really have a framework or coaching. I just was like, okay, who am I dating? Who do I like, right? God puts us in people's paths. But again, number one decision you will ever make is your significant other. Okay. And so like Ruslan got married at 20. I have friends who've gotten married at 19, 20, 21, and they're happily married, having a great time. Right. And then on the other side, I've had friends who got married in their late 30s, early 40s, and they're doing, so like he said, age doesn't really matter. It's more of, are you guys on the same page? And also note, over time, we're human, right? Our goals are going to change. Things are going to, what we desire is going to change. And this is why what we're going to talk about today is very powerful for you guys that are listening, because again, we're not perfect. We're just two dudes on a podcast right now talking, and we've had some success in our life, but outside of that, we're still improving and trying to be better husbands. And so with all that being said, Ruslan, again, 15 freaking years, dude, like 15 years. Okay. And at least from what I know, I've met Karina, and we're excited. We're coming out to Seattle here in a couple months, and we're going to hang out with the fam, and we're going to go to Mariners Stadium for the first time, which we're excited about. But at least from what I've seen, we've been on a couples retreat together. We're going on another one coming at the end of the year here. And you guys, at least from what I've seen, obviously I know not everything's perfect, but it seems like you guys have a good connection. You know who's wearing what hats in the family, who's doing what with the kids. Like, maybe you could share some insight for some of the guys that are watching that of what you and Karina do, or anything that you want to share around that.
Yeah, no, and kind of like you said, right, there's ups and downs. But for us, I would say we got married and we started learning how to be adults, how to be everything. That was kind of when we started married. But one thing I will touch on, when you're looking for someone, at least for me, having a family was super important. So I think, again, no one taught me how to find or search for a wife. But I would say the biggest thing that if I would go back And I'm happy I hit it without even attempting. I mean, that was God himself being there. Because at 15 years old, you don't know what you want, right? You're just figuring out life. But when me and Karina met, I was like, man, not only do I want to be with this person, the love, not do only this person inspires me to basically go and do what I want to do. By the end of the day, this is going to be the mother of my children. And I think that was, I guess not everyone wants kids, right? But for me, kids were super important. So I think looking at it, even from a standpoint of like, would you want, a lot of the stereotypical is like, do you want to bring her home to meet the parents? It's like that's a baby step. If you don't want to introduce her to their parents, how in the world are you going to have kids with her? So I think that was my biggest thing. And I'm happy I hit on it because Karina's an amazing mom. I mean, we have 4 kids. And sometimes I joke we have 5 because, I think all men out there we're all tough and stuff in the world, but man, we're the biggest babies, and going home and just having that as like the constant, everyone runs a business, right? It's the entrepreneur life. You can wake up on a Monday, it's great. Wednesday's terrible. Thursday's amazing. Friday's horrible. Saturday, you're going bankrupt. Monday, have 9 digits in your bank account, right? I mean, it's just a roller coaster of roller coasters. But at home is just a constant flow, constant energy. And Karina sets that for us. So like Matt said, like hats, wearing hats, responsibilities. I feel like the world even made it seem like, being a wife, being a mom is not important. And holy crap, if any men's out there and you guys are sitting there and you stay home with the kids for a weekend, I think you appreciate your wife a lot more that day, So at least that's how it is for me. I work late hours, but I come home, kids are, they're in piano, they're in gymnastics, they're in this, and Karina takes them. She's the family Uber driver. I come home, I have my crap that she deals with, right? And it's this perfect flow. And like I said, I wouldn't have it any other way. I really wouldn't.